Ladies and gentlemen, today, I'm going to tell you the story of a man who changed the world of aviation forever. Brigadier General Chuck Yeager. A man who dared to go where no one else had gone before. A man who broke not only the sound barrier, but also the barrier of fear. Chuck Yeager was born on February 13, 1923, in Myra, West Virginia, USA. He came from a poor but hard-working family. His father was a gas driller, and from an early age, young Chuck loved machines, hunting, and fixing engines. He didn't have a university education or connections, but he had something much stronger: fearless determination. In 1941, when America entered World War II, Yeager joined the U.S. Army Air Forces as a mechanic. He never dreamed of becoming a pilot, but destiny had different plans. His sharp instincts and incredible focus caught his officers' attention, and he was chosen for pilot training. That decision changed aviation history forever. Yeager was sent to Europe to fly the famous P-51 Mustang fighter plane. He named his aircraft Glamorous Glenn after his girlfriend Glennis Dickhouse, who later became his wife. But war is never easy. In March 1944, Yeager was shot down over France. For most people, that would be the end, but not for him. He escaped through forests, mountains, and enemy patrols with the help of the French resistance, and after weeks of danger, he safely returned to England. Despite a rule that said no pilot could return to combat after being shot down, Yeager personally met with General Dwight D. Eisenhower and convinced him to let him fight again. When he returned to the skies, he became a legend. Yeager shot down 13 enemy aircraft, including 5 in one single day. His courage and skill earned him the title of Flying Ace, one of the best of the best. After the war, Yeager became a test pilot, the most dangerous job in aviation. His mission? To fly new experimental aircraft that often failed mid-air. In 1947, the U.S. was racing to do the impossible, break the sound barrier, or Mach 1. Many thought it couldn't be done. Planes shook violently and sometimes exploded when nearing that speed. But Yeager wasn't afraid. Just 2 days before his historic flight, he fell from a horse and broke 2 ribs. He told no one, hiding the injury so he wouldn't be removed from the mission. On October 14, 1947, Yeager climbed into the Bell X-1, a bright orange rocket plane named Glamorous Glennis. The plane was carried high into the sky by a B-29 bomber and released at 45,000 feet. He ignited the rockets, and the world held its breath. Suddenly, a thunderous boom echoed across the desert sky. For the first time in human history, a man had flown faster than the speed of sound. Mach 1.06, over 700 miles per hour. Chuck Yeager had done the impossible. Yeager's success made him a legend among pilots. He continued testing dozens of new aircraft, pushing speed and altitude limits again and again. In 1953, he set another record by flying Mach 244, more than twice the speed of sound. He trained many young pilots, including future astronauts who would later walk on the moon. Over his long career, Yeager flew more than 360 different aircraft and logged over 10,000 flight hours. He fought in World War II, Korea, and Vietnam, and eventually rose to the rank of Brigadier General. Even after retirement, Yeager never stopped flying. In 2003, at the age of 80, he celebrated the 50th anniversary of breaking the sound barrier by doing it again. Chuck Yeager was not only a hero in the air, but a humble man on the ground. He once said, "You don't concentrate on risks. You concentrate on results. No risk is too great to prevent the necessary job from getting done." He received countless awards, including the Presidential Medal of Freedom, America's highest civilian honor. His courage and simplicity inspired books, documentaries, and the famous movie The Right Stuff. Chuck Yeager passed away on December 7, 2020, at the age of 97. But even though he is gone, his legacy still soars in every fighter jet that breaks the sky. He showed the world that no barrier is too strong, no challenge too great, and no dream too high. Ladies and gentlemen, remember this name, Chuck Yeager, the man who taught humanity that greatness begins where fear ends.